Hello, America. My name is Doc Holliday. I wanted to come on and talk to you about a urgent matter that we are dealing with. Um, as you all know, right now we are dealing with a very big climate change issue um, that is going on right now, and you all also know that we have been experiencing longer. Um Fire seasons now. So, as a result of that, um, we really need to sort of kill two birds with one stone and helping to battle climate change and also investing more in fighting forest fires and wildfires. Um, But you got to look at the forest fires aren't just forest fires, or the wildfires aren't just wildfires. They are fires that literally wipe out entire towns, and they can go on and cover hundreds of thousands of acres and displace or flat out wipe out you know um, whole communities, everything just completely wiped out, and it's something that is going to go on more and more and more, and of course, the more that goes on, the more it is going to contribute to climate change, because that is a very significant factor in producing a lot of the greenhouse gases that we are dealing with right now. Because as you can see, we've had all these numerous fires here all throughout the western United States at historic levels. And then we've also had the thing down in Brazil where there were not only clearing areas for farmland, but well, what happened? They were doing that, and it totally went out of control. And then on top of that, they've also had some wildfires down there as well. We've had fires down in over in Russia, over in the tundra, and it's like that took like months in order to put out. We had fires down in Turkey, and the EU had to send helicopters and everything and planes in order to help them out. We had fires down in Australia, the worst fires ever. That scorched or burnt up, hundreds of thousands of acres and killed thousands upon thousands of animals, that were in the area as well. Um, so and then we got also the how do you say, the volcanoes that have been erupting in Hawaii and then also in La Palma as well. So we have all of these, and then well, I was going to say that the heat and everything, but the more heat the hotter it has been, the more it's going to melt the ice sheets down in how do you call it, uh, Antarctica, and also the North Pole, South and North Pole. So it's, oh, and then you look at Pakistan, Pakistan or India, like their mountains and everything, they're losing their ice sheets. New Zealand is losing their ice sheets. Like everybody is losing a lot of the ice sheets. Also down in I think it's Venezuela or Chile. I think it is. I think it's Chile. That they used to go and take ice and everything from the glaciers and use it to keep their food fresh in the or cold in the refrigerator that they have there, because they don't have like power or whatever. I think something like that. But Yeah, so but now the trek has been going miles and miles more longer to in order to find the ice, to reach the ice, in order to supply it to the townsmen and everything. So um, we have these things, and of course, the more ice again that is being melting, it leads to the seas rising, and it is projected that it's going to do a greater number on the northern hemisphere than it is the southern hemisphere. Um, but I don't know. You can ask what is it? The Philippines, because today is what 12/20, 2021, and I think it was over the weekend, previous weekend, the Philippines has got hit by the largest um, typhoon that they've had in in like a long time. I think it was like years, or at least I think it was like years, and especially the area of which it hit. It was an area that traditionally don't get a lot of hurricanes. So it was an area that was in southern Philippines. Um, and as I said, doesn't get a lot of hurricanes, especially in December. Like, they don't get hurricanes typically this type of time of year, um, the whole Philippines. And then those who would get it, it is normally the northern type part of the Philippines, and they're more prepared for it. Whereas the more southern and middle part of the Philippines, they're not, and that really wrecked them like really bad. And you look at what happened over in Nicaragua, I think it was Nicaragua and Honduras, um, where they had got hit back to back with different Category 5 hurricanes, and it just wiped out uh, their way of life, their existence, basically, their towns and everything. That's why we've had such a large influx of migrants and everything that has come through the border. So, all of these consequences of climate change, and yet, you know, we're still slow walking as far as doing things that we know that needs to be done in order to address the situation. So, I say all of that to say we basically need to up the ante in all of our aircraft that we are currently using to fight forest fires. So and that basically means that instead of just doubling whatever the expenses are, we're going to actually quadruple. So we're going to get four times the how do you call it, the airplane fighting capacities in order to fight the forest fires. We have to invest a lot more in our ability to fight the forest fires. So, a lot of the planes and the helicopters and everything that we are using, a lot of them are old, or they don't have the maintenance and everything that is needed to be done, or they're working on other fires, which take a higher priority or whatever. So other fires can't be fought. Can't utilize that resource in order to quench that fire. So as a result, other people's houses are getting burnt down needlessly. If we had done what is necessary, millions of dollars, yes, I understand, to equip some 747s or whatever, in order to, or actually, is it the C-130 that they whatever they use in order to do the water drops and everything, to convert it. If it's $1 million, couple $1 million, whatever it is, that needs to be done. And also for I think they have the Chinook conversions, or helicopter conversions as well, and or other new technologies in order to go ahead and get this done. I think the planes are the most effective, though I think they have a lot more flying restrictions, if I'm understanding correctly. But yeah, whatever the most effective is, like I said, we need to we need to be 4 times more than whatever we are spending in the budget and everything to fight the fires. In addition to that, we also need to make sure that the fire departments are adequately staffed. So that means that we need to actually make sure that we are supplying good wages for the firefighters. So that would mean that at a minimum, the firefighters should be making at a minimum $18 an hour at a minimum. $20 an hour, sorry, at a minimum right now, because inflation, it's something that we definitely need, yeah. So, and people got to keep in mind you're going to get a lot of overtime as well in doing those type of things. But yeah, $20 an hour minimum wage, or minimum, for minimum wage for firefighters that are out there trying to save our lives, our possessions, and everything. I think that is that's a good thing to do in that regard. So again, 4 times whatever we're spending as far as our budgets and everything for aircraft to fight the forest fires. Other things, I'm not sure, what else can be done, but I'll tell you one thing that can be done. We need to also start doing better campaigns on using the technology to save our water. We have technologies that allows us to use like motion sensors to turn on the faucets and everything in order to conserve water. Got motion sensors for your how do you call it, your lights and everything as well. We have to do more investments to items that are going to save us the energy and water resources. It's prudent that we do this. And we need to spend more time educating the public and ensuring that they do take on those resources. I mean, because even if you're living in apartment buildings, you can utilize, the motion sensor faucets and everything, or lights, and also highly energy efficient lights as well. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that are just using the regular lights that are guzzling, using way too much resources and everything. It's draining too much to use them. So, excuse me. But that is it for this video. Stay tuned for more. I know I'm going to be covering some more about the COVID-19 because that's the issue. But yeah, tune in for that. Please do subscribe, and that way you don't miss anything. Hopefully I would be able to do a little bit more, God willing, but hopefully I can get some assistance or team up with somebody that is willing to do some projects together. It'd be good to debate some different topics and everything with somebody that is pretty smart and want to strategize and things of that nature. So if there's anybody out there that is wanting to change the world, get at your boy, because some things is about to go down. All right, but thank y'all. Have a good day. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.